strange rule realm. Here, 100% chosen players had to design their own gift, with zero restrictions on how to use it. The catch? Everyone was watching. If someone guessed your gift, you died. But I spotted a loophole. The rules never said anything about a word limit. One second I was at home watching Paramount War, debating whether Akainu or Whitebeard was stronger. The next, I was dropped into this bizarre rule realm. A set of rules instantly flooded my mind. Rule 1, design a gift for yourself. Only you may know what it is. Rule 2, all 100 players will be under constant public surveillance. Any spectator who correctly guesses a player's gift claims it at no cost. The original player dies. Rule 3, the last player standing may take everything gained in the rule realm back to the real world. Rule 4, spectators may not interfere with players in any way, including but not limited to restricting movement or intimidation. They may only observe and deduce. Rule 5, a correct guess only needs to clearly convey the gift's core mechanic, trigger condition, effect, or form. Any language is accepted. Word-for-word accuracy is not required. Rule 6, if no one guesses a player's gift within the time limit, a forced duel is triggered based on crack progress percentage. Rule 7, players may use their gift freely, but must comply with local laws and regulations. Any violation results in immediate elimination. Rule 8, remember your gift at all times. The realm will conduct random verifications. Any player who forgets their own gift will be eliminated. I could wrap my head around all the rules, except the last one. Rule 9, stay tuned. Seriously? You might as well have handed me some bread rolls. Who knows when they'll change the rules on us? When you're stuck in a rule realm, you play by its rules. I needed to start designing my gift, fast. I looked around. This was a modern parallel world that ruled out anything illegal or massively destructive. Around me, the other 99 players looked just as lost. At least we had enough time to design our gifts. I was deep in thought, trying to make my gift as complicated as possible, when some idiot nearby suddenly blurted out, "No way, I can turn invisible." The moment those words left his mouth, the guy slowly faded from sight. I'm guessing his gift is invisibility. Correct guess confirmed. Gift extraction in progress. The spectator who'd guessed it leaped into the air in celebration, and the fool who'd spoken without thinking collapsed silently in front of everyone. Seriously? Did you even read the rules? How is someone this clueless? With the first player dead, the rest of us snapped out of our shock and finally got it. Whatever you do, never let the spectators figure out your gift. The problem was we'd all arrived in this rule realm with nothing. Not a single coin, no shelter, no money, and every single person around us was a potential spectator. Just thinking about it was terrifying. Then a question hit me. Was there any limit to how long a gift description could be? As long as you could remember it yourself. Now we're talking. My gift had to check a few boxes. First, it had to be flashy. Come on, it's a superpower. Boring is not an option. Second, some combat or defensive capability. You never know what might come up, and I needed something to fall back on. This was a rule realm after all. Third, it had to make money, or at least be useful enough to get by. But honestly, straight up cash generation seemed the most efficient. I just got transported to another world. I'm not working a 9 to 5. Fourth, it had to be stealthy. No one could be allowed to observe it. And in the later force duel stage, there had to be enough hidden details to bury any crack progress. As for the fifth condition, stay tuned. So here's what I came up with for my gift. When I perform the seal gesture, Yin Shu Shen Mao Zi Hai Yu Chu Wu Ten Yu Yin Si Shu Shen Mao, and shout Suton Baku Suishiwa, my skin activates iron skin. Until my next bathroom visit, my urine will increase by 0.666 milliliters out of nowhere. I will also shed 5 hairs and 3 eyebrow hairs. An additional 100 red blood cells will be metabolized. The moment those hairs and eyebrow hairs hit the ground, 8 E. coli bacteria and 2 paramecia will spontaneously appear somewhere in the world. Once those 100 extra red blood cells finish metabolizing, a single water molecule will materialize in the sky, and 990,000 yuan will appear in my bank account. That is my gift. I'd already mastered the complicated seal gesture. Just decoding that alone would keep the spectators busy for a while. Since there were no restrictions on using my gift, I had to try it out right away. The moment I shouted, Suton Baku Suishiwa, the spectators around me exploded with excitement. I know that technique. It's the water style, Great Waterfall Jutsu. His gift is the water style, Great Waterfall Jutsu. Wrong guess, pal. Attempt failed. When no water came shooting out of my mouth, they started analyzing whether I'd hidden something in my gift design. Someone guessed my gift was a seal gesture that produced no water effect. Another guessed it was a seal gesture that sprayed water after a time delay. All kinds of wild guesses flew around, none even close. I couldn't be bothered. After all, they couldn't interfere with us. They could only watch. After a short while, the remaining dozens of players finished designing their gifts. Sadly, a few of them, some young girls and an elderly man, barely understood what a gift even was. Naturally, they couldn't come up with anything solid. They were quickly picked apart by the crowd of guessing spectators, and eliminated by the realm will. One player was quick on his feet, though. He designed his gift as presence reduced to a level undetectable by anyone. Unfortunately, the spectators had clearly been through this kind of game many times before, even though none of them could actually notice that low presence player. The spectators went through their checklist like clockwork, reciting a long list of gifts that had given them trouble in past rounds. Reduced presence was on the list. No time to waste. I needed to find a bathroom. The second half of my gift hadn't triggered yet. I also needed to find somewhere to sleep tonight, and dinner had better be good. In just a short while, more than a dozen players in the starting zone had already been eliminated. These spectators were frighteningly experienced. They'd even organized professional analysis teams, tracking our every move. The players who were eliminated fell victim to the spectators' collection of past answers. They'd cataloged gifts like reduced presence, disappearing from sight, and all manner of invisible, unspeakable, indescribable, rule-bending gifts, every last one. Gifts could be designed freely, but they still had to answer to the realm will. Some outrageous gifts simply never took effect, like someone who tried to design a gift that would send them straight back to the real world with a hand gesture. That one failed on the spot. Gifts like immortality or complete invincibility were never going to work either. When you get down to it, we were just toys the rule realm had dragged in for its own entertainment. The naive players who couldn't figure that out were already dropping one by one. I found a bathroom, took care of business, activated my gift, and just like that, 990,000 yuan landed in my account. By the time I walked back out, all the remaining players outside had finished designing their gifts. Then a new rule dropped. Supplemental rule. Spectators must return to their normal daily lives and may not verbally disturb any player. Keep all guesses to yourself. Honestly, I was thrilled about that rule. Being surrounded by people guessing out loud all day was like being put on display at a zoo. Lucky for me, I'm not socially anxious. Otherwise, that alone would have been worse than being eliminated. Someone had definitely noticed the 990,000 yuan that appeared in my account. So what? The most anyone could guess was, performed a seal gesture, shouted, Suton Baku Suishua, and 990,000 yuan appeared in a bank account. Dead wrong. I highly doubted anyone was watching closely enough to count exactly how many hairs and eyebrow hairs I shed in the bathroom. And for getting my own gift? Not a chance. The trickiest part was the seal gesture sequence. I had it memorized cold. 0.666. Easy. 6 is a lucky number back in my world. My birthday is the 3rd of May. That's where the 5 hairs and 3 eyebrow hairs come from. 8 E. coli and 2 paramecia. That's 5 plus 3 and 5 minus 3. 100 red blood cells in exchange for 990,000 yuan and 1 water molecule. My gift is perfect. When I came out of the bathroom, the surviving players had already gathered into clusters. As long as I stayed safe, joining the crowd seemed like the right move. At the center of the crowd stood a man in a suit and tie. He was rallying everyone to cooperate and stand together against this twisted situation. Some responded. Most just watched in silence. Beyond survival, the immediate problems everyone was staring down were simple. Where to sleep, what to eat. A few players in the crowd actually had money-generating gifts, but nobody wanted to use them now. The more you used your gift, the more you exposed it. No matter how cleverly you designed it, there was always a trail. Burning your gift just to solve a short-term problem wasn't worth the risk, and the rules made it clear. Only one of us would survive. No amount of bonding effect was going to change that. We were all opponents. The suit and tie guy watched his plan fall apart right in front of him. He kept bouncing around, trying to fire people up about unity, but hardly anyone bit. Then an elderly man stepped forward and steadied things down. Nobody wants to die, but full unity is too much to ask. Only one of us makes it out. So I suggest we form small groups. If someone doesn't make it, the rest carry their last words back to the real world. Everyone thought it over, most agreed, but there was a new problem. We had nothing but the clothes on our backs. No way to exchange contacts, no pen, no paper, not even the means to write a final letter. Time to shine. I called out, everyone gets a phone. Easy to stay in contact and write last messages. I'll handle the money. I felt pretty safe at the moment. Being generous cost me nothing. I had 990,000 yuan to work with. That buys a lot of phones. And if I ran short, I could always take another bathroom break. I led everyone willing to come along straight to the nearest shopping mall. We swept through several phone stores before we had enough for everyone. The ones who wanted nothing to do with the group quietly slipped away. Nobody paid them any mind. Fortunately, even though the rule realm hadn't given us any cash, our ID cards had carried over. Setting up SIM cards was a whole ordeal, but we got a dozen or so group chats running and finally connected all the surviving players. The small group plan the elderly man had suggested got a solid response. 3 to 5 people per group. At least you'd have someone watching your back. While we were still at the mall, I slipped off to the bathroom again. Another 990,000 yuan. Just like that. I walked out of the mall and onto the street. At that moment, a new supplemental rule took effect. The skyboard appeared. All guesses about any player's gift would now be displayed on the skyboard. A fully correct guess would result in that player's immediate elimination. Each day, the player with the highest crack progress and the most match details would also be eliminated. As the rules settled, a massive skyboard materialized in the sky out of nowhere. All of our names were on it. Those closest to the bottom had the most of their gift figured out. The one at the very bottom had a teleportation gift. The trigger condition had already been identified. The gesture was tracing the letter D with a finger. What remained unknown was the range, along with conditions like what surfaces or materials it could pass through. But these spectators were relentless. High-speed cameras, big data analysis. They threw everything at it. It was only a matter of time before his gift was fully cracked, unless he never used it again. He was standing right there in the crowd, face drained of color, completely rattled. The others ranked near the bottom didn't look much better. The small group plan had been thrown into chaos the moment the skyboard appeared. Nobody wanted to team up with Liu Yang, the teleportation guy. Most people came to me saying they wanted in on my group. They even offered to help keep my gift hidden. I was the most financially free of anyone here, and living costs money after all. Converting a gift into income takes time. Finding someone who's already done the work is way better. After looking around, I picked a quiet, cool-headed girl, an anime-obsessed guy, and a high school student. I invited the elderly man too, but he politely declined. He said there was too big, a generational gap, and communication would be difficult. He chose to group up with others closer to his own age. Finally, I pulled Liu Yang into the group. I told him, don't use your gift for now. Just bet that other others get cracked before you, and you can survive. Liu Yang joined our group, with me at the head, practically weeping with gratitude. Thank you for taking me in, Gusheng. Save it. You're in now, so follow my lead. We survived together. On the skyboard, I was ranked second. I'd exposed some surface-level details so the spectators had plenty to work with. They'd picked up quite a lot. Seal gesture, Suton Bakusuishiwa, bathroom visit, 990,000 yuan. All that exposed, and I was still only second. The quiet, cool-headed girl was named Ling Shuang. She was ranked first. The anime guy was Cheng Kai, ranked 11th. The high school student Li Mo, ranked 16th. Liu Yang, needless to say, was dead last. The names below the rankings had already gone gray. Those players had been fully cracked and eliminated. My name is Gusheng. Tonight, we eat well first, then we find somewhere comfortable to settle in. Whatever tomorrow brings, tonight we live like human beings. The earlier supplemental rule had banned spectators from disrupting our daily lives, which took a massive load off. Otherwise, imagine trying to eat with a crowd hovering around you, shouting guesses every few minutes. We found a grand hotel and booked a private dining room. The private room was no issue. Money talks. When ordering, I fully committed to the role of a man who had just come into serious money. Order the most expensive thing. Order whatever you've never tried before. Spending meant nothing to me. Ling Shuang looked like she came from a well-off family back in the real world. I couldn't spot a single sign of discomfort on her. Cheng Kai and Li Mo were both from ordinary families. They were genuinely thrilled by the spread. Liu Yang was so crushed by his spot on the elimination board that he couldn't even focus on the food. I told him, if there's anything you want to leave behind, anything you need to say, write it down now. I slid a notebook and a pen across the table to him. Nobody here was playing hero. The whole point of grouping up was so that when someone didn't make it, someone else could carry their last words home. Liu Yang hesitated. Nobody pushed him. We barely knew each other. We were traveling companions for a stretch of road. Looking out for yourself came first. Liu Yang quietly took the notebook. He ate without a word. Compared to him, the rest of us were in noticeably better spirits. I even ordered a bottle of wine. A small toast to the formation of our little group. No matter how confident I wasn't arrogant enough to think my gift would be the absolute last one cracked. Rather than living in fear, I'd make the most of what I had and enjoy it. Making it to the end would be great, but even if someone out there managed to beat me, I wasn't going out on an empty stomach. When we stepped out of the hotel, everyone instinctively looked up. The skyboard, everyone else's rankings were unchanged for now. Liu Yang had jumped up to 79th. Last place was 80th. The good mood faded. 3 more names were gone in just that short time. We checked into a luxury hotel for the night. Our group had the most stable rankings overall. Thanks to my early cash advantage, I hadn't needed to expose much of my gift. Between my financial safety net and the constant pressure of watching names vanish from the board, everyone in the group silently agreed to stop using their gifts. But this rule realm wasn't going to let us stay quiet for long. The next morning at 8, the 79th player was eliminated. Liu Yang moved up to 73rd. Then the supplemental rule dropped. All players must use their gift more than 3 times per day. Failure to do so results in elimination. By lunchtime, Liu Yang slid the notebook across to me. Gusheng, I don't think I'm making it through today. My dad's number is in there. If you make it out, please call him. Get this notebook to him. Tell him his son was never able to take care of him in his old age. His eyes were brimming with tears. For a moment, I felt a genuine pang of sadness and a flicker of guilt for all my clever maneuvering. But 2 more names disappeared from the sky right then. And just like that, the guilt was gone. Don't worry. If I make it out, I'll deliver it personally. If I don't, I'll pass the notebook on to someone else, all the way down to whoever is last. The new rule was brutal. Everyone had to use their gift at least 3 times today. Liu Yang said there was no hiding it anymore. It was going to come out. After lunch, he came with me to the bathroom. He teleported from one stall to another. Moments later, he slumped silently over the toilet. These monsters had planted cameras even in the bathroom stalls. I walked back to the table in silence. The others immediately noticed Liu Yang was gone. We opened another bottle, a quiet toast to a brief companion. We then noticed the skyboard had been updated. No need to look outside at the sky anymore. Look up anywhere, and it was there. Every name now had 3 empty boxes next to it. Mine already had 2 check marks. I'd used my gift twice. Cheng Kai had 1 check mark. He'd slipped away briefly and used his gift while out of sight. I still had no idea what his gift was. Li Mo had vanished in front of us for a few seconds, used his gift once, and earned 1 checkmark. Ling Shuang had all 3 checkmarks filled. During that entire time, I hadn't noticed anything unusual from her. By dinner, we had all met the daily gift usage requirement. That ridiculous promise of no cost and no usage limit had been a joke from the start. Now, everyone wished they had no gift at all. Never to use it, never to risk being cracked. The elimination board was down to 57 names. The rest had gone gray. On the 3rd day, Cheng Kai died. Not because his gift was cracked, he was killed by another player. Because on that 3rd day, a new rule went live. Any player who exposes another player's gift by any means will receive a 3-day immunity period. This effect cannot stack. This meant open season between players. They no longer had to follow this world's laws. Humans are experts at finding loopholes. Sure, capturing and interrogating someone for their gift took time, and a 3-day immunity period was appealing. But just wiping out every other player and leaving yourself as the only one standing meant nobody needed to guess anything anymore. The rule had barely landed before we were attacked. Cheng Kai had been walking on the outside of the group. He took the hit. I never did find out what his gift was. At least he had written his final letter the day before. It was sitting quietly in my pocket. Li Mo's ability to vanish in an instant saved his life. I activated my gift. Iron Skin engaged. I grabbed Ling Shuang and we sprinted into the nearest police station. Players could hurt each other, but harming anyone else in this world was still forbidden. Clever. Very clever. Keep your gift hidden and harmless and other players come after you. Make it powerful and aggressive, and the spectators crack it in no time. Either way, you're dead. Fortunately, my gift had no offensive capability, but its defensive value was solid. Still, what on earth was Ling Shuang's gift? She was still ranked first on the board, with a crack progress